Boruto episode 131 review. But before I get into my video, I do want to give a huge thank you to my sponsor for today's video, and it's going to be Black Desert Online. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me talk about Black Desert Online before, but if you guys have not, or if you guys want me to re-jog your memory, Black Desert Online is a beautifully designed open world MMORPG game with literally the best graphics on the market. Black Desert has a real-time action-based combat never seen before in the MMORPG game, amazingly detailed character creation system, actually the best in the market, 18 different diverse classes to choose from, each having unique skills and abilities, and also rich life skill and crafting and also economy systems. Now, Black Desert also frequently updates this game with large scale updates and also smaller content updates. Now, speaking of Black Desert Online always adding frequent updates to the game, Black Desert Online recently added an update called the Great Expedition. Now, this brand new update pretty much features a new ocean trading system, a revamped system for operating your boats, a new ocean boss, new high class ships, and much more. And not only that, Black Desert Online was also nice enough to give you guys a 7-day free trial for you guys to actually try out the game and see if you guys like it. I highly recommend that you guys try this out, and because it's a free 7-day trial, you guys have literally nothing to lose. Black Desert Online is available on PC, and also once you buy the game, you get all the other updates for free. As I said, the 7-day link is going to be in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, this episode was definitely a very good episode. I'm pretty sure you guys were all excited for this. I was excited for this as well. It honestly seems like every single Boruto episode, every single Boruto manga right now, Boruto is again trending on Twitter. But before I get into the actual contents of the episode, I do want to say this episode is probably like the best possible outcome that I could have probably asked for. We understood that Urashiki coming into the episode probably meant the end of Boruto and everybody else fraternizing and talking amongst each other. And now, because Urashiki didn't necessarily plan correctly, Boruto and everybody else now gets a chance to basically hang out with each other. And I spoke about this in my past review, how a lot of the arcs previously had a lot of slice of life episodes and then like 1 or 2 episodes of straight action. And in this situation right here, I thought it was going to be the complete opposite. But now I actually like it, because the overall concept of this arc, Boruto being in the previous generation, is a lot different from the arcs that we did see previously. All right, now actually getting into the contents of the episode, I feel like one of the most controversial things in this episode is, of course, Sasuke's power level. We understood that Sasuke and Urashiki, they were going to definitely come into confrontation. Now, in this situation, Sasuke was put behind the 8 ball. He not only was drained of significant amount of chakra that he had, I'm pretty sure he probably had under 20%. Coming into this episode, a lot of you guys probably thought that he would probably have at least 50% of his chakra and energy, but that definitely was not the situation. But on top of that, he can't really use his Sharingan mainly because he's trying to keep up his anonymity and make sure Jiraiya and Naruto don't find out his actual identity. This right here makes it extremely hard for Sasuke to do exactly what he wants to do. But I personally understand why a lot of the fans out there, especially the Sasuke diehard fans out there, they're extremely mad mainly because every single time that we see Sasuke come into contact with a character, maybe Urashiki, maybe Momoshiki, maybe another character in the manga, he is almost absolutely never at least 90% of what he should be. He's always like 50%, he's always like 60%, he's always like 20% in this situation, and it just seems to be extremely frustrating for a lot of the Sasuke diehard fans out there, mainly because we have not yet seen Sasuke fight at full capacity, even against a character like Kinshiki, where he had to use a time space ninjutsu and it drained a significant amount of his power just to get to where Kinshiki and Momoshiki were in that other dimension. Getting off of the topic of Sasuke Uchiha, and I think that this right here is going to be a very significant part in defeating Urashiki overall. We understood that Urashiki was not able to completely snatch out Naruto's chakra. Now, in the preview, I spoke about how Urashiki taking Naruto away from the situation and not just snatching his chakra right then and there seemed a little bit fishy, mainly because we understood Urashiki had the ability and potential to snatch out a lot of chakra in a very short amount of time, and he actually tried that. Now, we've seen that Urashiki just couldn't do it, mainly because Naruto had a seal. Now, this right here marks one of the first weaknesses, and I don't necessarily want to say weaknesses, I should say it marks one of the first counters to what Urashiki does best. Urashiki is not necessarily the fastest, he's not necessarily the strongest. What he does is he's a master at stealing people's chakra, and of course, because we've seen the seal, it now presents an extra level of defense that we can use against a character like Urashiki. And we see in this episode when Sasuke put a seal on his chakra as well, Urashiki wasn't necessarily able to snatch out the last 20% of chakra that Sasuke had because he had the seal, and I feel like that right there is going to pay extreme dividends, especially moving into the more critical parts of this arc. And now here's the thing about Urashiki that I really like, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys like this as well. Urashiki is not like a regular Otsutsuki member. Urashiki is not going to overwhelm you with pure talent and strength. Urashiki is a smart guy. He's very methodical. Even though he's extremely goofy, he understands what he can do and what he can't do. In this situation, he completely left. He abandoned the mission. He aborted ship just to rethink and gather his thoughts and come up with a better plan and a better alternative. What Urashiki didn't really account for was a seal being on Naruto's chakra, and not only that, the Nine Tails having a mind of his own. Now this all started after Urashiki kidnapped Naruto. After he kidnapped Naruto, he actually went into the seal and actually seen the Nine Tails. This right here is extremely very nostalgic. Seeing the evil Nine Tails, that's pretty much a sight we haven't seen in a very long time. And of course, we've seen Kurama. He wasn't necessarily trying to talk with Urashiki about regular fun stuff like he talks with Boruto and Naruto and also Shikaku about in the current Boruto time. Like, he really understood that Urashiki was a threat. And not only that, Kurama was also scared of Urashiki. I'm pretty sure you guys know the only thing that Kurama wants at this stage is for somebody to break that seal. He's probably saying like, yo, I wish somebody would take this seal off me so I can be free from Naruto's vessel. And I feel like this right here is actually flying under the radar a little bit. Kurama was actually afraid of Urashiki Otsutsuki, which was absolutely insane. As soon as Urashiki tried to peel back the seal, which is exactly what Kurama wants anybody to do, is he pretty much put up a defense and made sure Urashiki couldn't necessarily do that. Now he did that because he was afraid of being controlled by another person. If you guys recall, Madara was the first person, or Madara was one of the people who actually controlled Kurama. After Madara, it was Obito. And if it is one thing that Kurama hates more than being locked in a Jinchuriki, it is being under the control of someone's genjutsu and pretty much acting against his will. He absolutely hates that. So I feel like, of course, this was like a defense mechanism of him actually being afraid of Urashiki and thinking that Urashiki could possibly cast a genjutsu over him and pretty much take over his whole body. And I feel like that right there is kind of flying a little bit under the radar. Now, right before Urashiki tried to take off the seal, Urashiki basically said he wanted to take what was his. Now in this situation, it's kind of creepy, it's kind of weird. I feel like Urashiki has some sense of entitlement that's similar to what Kaguya felt. Back in the day when Sasuke and Naruto were fighting against Kaguya, she kind of thought that everything, all the chakra on earth was hers. And of course you can't kind of make that argument that all the chakra was actually hers, but same thing with Urashiki. Now I'm honestly not sure if Urashiki has some sort of irrational confidence or irrational sense of entitlement of this chakra, or Urashiki actually does have a legitimate case that all this chakra did actually come from him. One of the things that I am thinking is that all the chakra and all the planets, all the chakra and all the universes and dimensions, they all stem and come from the Otsutsuki clan. And because they come from the Otsutsuki clan, that's why Urashiki has some sort of sense of entitlement. But because Urashiki did say that he wants to take what was his, this can lead to some sort of idea of what Urashiki's overall goal is. He wants to take back what was his, or he wants to take back what is the Otsutsuki clans. We understand that a lot of the Otsutsuki members out there, they have the only goal of obtaining a lot of chakra. Kage kind of had that goal, but she had that goal for different motives. She kind of thought that the chakra was hers, and I think that Urashiki does also have some sort of different motives that we don't necessarily know yet. And of course, I'm definitely hyped to figure out exactly what that is. But as of right now, I think that Urashiki just wants to gather up a lot of chakra for something. The thing that a lot of the other Otsutsuki members did was that they were gathering up chakra for no reason at all. When we seen Kaguya try to gather up chakra, it was for no reason. Like, she just broke out of the seal that she was sealed in by the Sage of Six Paths. Momoshiki and Kinshiki, they were just attempting to gather up chakra for no reason as well. They were just thinking like, hey, this is just another planet. This is also a planet with a lot of chakra. Let's just gather up all this chakra. But for this exact situation, it seems extremely different. It seems like Urashiki actually needs this chakra. And not only because he just said that he's taking what was his, but also Urashiki has been a character that's been stalking this dimension for a very long time. Urashiki was the person to tell Momoshiki where everything was, who had all the sources of chakra. Urashiki knew all the tail beasts. Urashiki had all the backstory. This tells me that Urashiki is not doing this off of a whim. Urashiki had time to research and diligently think about what he was doing. Now, right after Urashiki was burned by Kurama, we've seen Urashiki do something that we haven't necessarily seen him do before, and it was that he ingested the chakra. Now, all the chakra that Urashiki basically had before, he pretty much put into that pouch that he has on his side. This situation, he actually put Kurama's chakra into a chakra pill, and he actually ate that chakra pill. Now, this is something that we see Momoshiki do. We see Momoshiki eat a lot of chakra pills. Now, this particular situation, Urashiki basically did the exact same thing. Now, in my opinion, I feel like this right here pretty much means that he probably doesn't necessarily want all the chakra for himself. The only reason that he pretty much ate the chakra pill was because it couldn't necessarily add anything of value. It wasn't necessarily that abundant for him to actually add to his pile of excessive chakra. Now, I personally feel like we're probably going to get the backstory about exactly what Urashiki is basically saving up all the chakra for, but also why Urashiki never really ingests chakra, and about the reasons why Urashiki isn't using the copious amount of chakra that he has gathered up for personal gain and personal benefits. Now, coming into this episode, one of the biggest biggest things that we were looking forward to was seeing Naruto rage, and not only seeing Naruto rage, but Boruto's reactions to seeing Naruto rage. And I feel like that right there definitely did not disappoint. Of course, it had the old school OST. A lot of people on Twitter were saying it was extremely nostalgic, but I really feel like this right here basically showed Boruto what Naruto was like in the past. Now, we understood that Boruto spent a lot of time with Naruto before, but this right here pretty much encapsulates all of Naruto's weaknesses, all of Naruto's flaws. It pretty much gives Boruto the choice, like, hey, do you still want to stick with this guy? Is this guy still a person that you want to be friends with? Or do you want to be like everybody else and just keep your distance away from Naruto and pretty much be fearful of what you don't know? And I feel like Boruto, of course, chose the right thing. That is his father at the end of the day. But the scene with Jiraiya just explaining to Boruto everything that Naruto's been through, that right there was just so powerful. And I mean, right now it's like super funny, man, because it's like the 10th time that we heard this spiel. It's like the 10th time that we've seen all the art and the animations and stuff like that. We've seen these exact frames before, but it still hits extremely hard. It's still very powerful. And of course, this being spewed to Boruto, him not exactly knowing what happened before, it just makes it that much enjoyable. And of course, Boruto chose the right thing. Boruto does want to stick by Naruto, and towards the end of the episode, we've seen Jiraiya basically say like, hey, I want to train both of you guys. Now, I feel like this right here is going to be a very perfect situation for Sasuke and Boruto, mainly because they get to keep an eye on Naruto, but also this right here for Boruto is going to be super insane, mainly because at the beginning of this whole thing, he's pretty much wanting to know everything about Jiraiya. Like, he was super intrigued by Jiraiya. He even gave up a training session with Sasuke to find out more about Jiraiya. Now he's going to actually get to train with Jiraiya. And one of the things that hit extremely hard towards the end of the episode is that Naruto is putting himself down. He pretty much told himself that he's never going to be able to save a friend if he can't really control himself. Now, that right there pretty much almost made Sasuke cry. I really want to see Sasuke's face and reaction after Naruto said that, but we only seen Sasuke's back. It was just an overall very good episode. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. But it's been your boy Baara B, and make sure you guys hit the link in the description below for a 7-day free trial of Black Desert Online. But it's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.